Welcome to r/loseit. My name is George, and today I will present to you a new topic. If you're not hungry enough to eat an apple, you're not really hungry. Damn it, Mom, you are right. I remember when I was a kid whining to my parents, "I'm hungry." They would say, "No, you're bored. Go find something to do." "But I'm actually hungry." She was not, indeed, actually hungry. "Go eat an apple. There's some on the counter." "I don't want an apple. I want a fun snack." If you're not hungry enough to eat an apple, you're not really hungry. These words used to infuriate me as a kid. I didn't want an apple. I wanted chips, or cookies, or some other junk food. I thought that saying was the stupidest thing I'd ever heard. I didn't want an apple, and I wasn't bored. Now, at 31, I found myself following that advice. When the cravings come and I feel those bingy feelings coming on, I tell myself to eat an apple. If that doesn't sound appealing, I'm probably just bored. And if it does sound appealing, I eat the apple. Sometimes it's sweet enough to curb my cravings. Most of the time, by the time I've worked my way through the apple, the urges have gone. Damn it, Mom, you were right. Can confirm. Am, Mom. I just said this to my kid about orange slices like 2 minutes ago. See, but I'm just not a fan of apples. Can this saying work with, say, watermelon? Love me some watermelon anytime. Or clementines. Serious questions to some moms. From a new adult trying their best to adult. I just go with a piece of fruit or some carrots and dip. My daughter only likes certain fruits and my son changes what he likes day to day. I also throw this at them after they have had one serving of a non-plant snack, to their great dismay. I'd rather eat lead than carrots and dip. Try carrots and peanut butter. It's sweet instead of disgusting. Ooh, that sounds vile. But to each their own. I like peanut butter and pickles. I had the same thought, but apples are gross and boring, and I don't like them. But I don't think I've ever turned down watermelon in my entire life. I should go buy some watermelon. I was just thinking that. I'm an adult. If I literally want to plop down and eat an entire half of a watermelon with a spoon, I can do that. Why don't I ever do that? Absolutely nothing, except maybe space. Who has space for the volume of a watermelon I require? And the puddle around the cutting board? Ugh. No puddle around the cutting board if you just scoop it out of the halves watermelon with a spoon. Put your cutting board on top of a dish towel that you need to wash anyway. Oh no, OP. No cutting involved, except to slice that baby I'm half. Then just sit with the half and use it as a spoon. Like eating ice cream out of a carton. I've done this too many times. Hot day, can't be bothered to cook dinner, need something refreshing? Cut a watermelon in half, grab a spoon, and you've got yourself a tasty meal. I miss apples from my childhood. I developed an allergy to the skins of apples if they're uncooked when I was 11 or 12, and I didn't understand that my throat feels like closing up and is incredibly itchy for hours or days after eating apples meant I probably shouldn't eat them anymore. Until someone flat out asked if I was allergic to them. I have this allergy until I was about 13. I just thought everyone else's teeth itched when they ate raw apples, plums, and cherries. Cooked fruits are fine, but some raw fruits make my throat close up. It's called oral allergy syndrome. The only apples I like are the really, really sour green ones that most people cook with. Yes, 100 times yes. Granny Smith or nothing at all. Seconding pink, baby. I mean, I'll eat a gala pink lady similar if it means I get to eat peanut butter, but I don't enjoy the texture or the flavor of apples as a fruit. I don't necessarily hold a grudge or anything against the Red Delicious industry, but the first Fuji I ate was mind-blowing. We always have apples in the house now. Fuji, Honeycrisp, so good. I'm fond of bananas and mandarins myself. Mom was right. If you're not hungry enough to eat a watermelon, you're not really hungry. I tell my kids, fruit or vegetable. It doesn't have to be a specific one, just whatever we have on hand. Or I tell them to get a drink of water, and if they're still hungry in 10 to 15 minutes, they can get something to eat. That's a really good rule. My mom did that. Just give them options, then they will feel like they have more control. Good job. I freely admit I have an addiction to sugar and other carbs. When I have a strong temptation to binge, I say to myself, instead of, I really want to go to the store and get ice cream, I really want to fix, or this must be what alcoholics feel like when they want to drink. Because for me, junk food, especially sugar, is like a drug. I have no self-control. I hear you. Quitting Coke and cigarettes was easier for me than turning down empty carbs or sugar. I still haven't won that battle. As my therapist says, cigarettes, or whatever other vice, aren't necessary to live, so you can just quit it 100% and be better for it. With food, you have to have what you are addicted to for survival, so it's much trickier. One of the plant-based experts mentioned a comment he got from somebody, something like, "I'm really hungry for something crunchy like chips," and the doc said, "Eat some celery." And the guy said, "No, I mean something crunchy and salty like chips." And the doc said, "Eat some celery." But chips crunchy and celery crunchy are different. I guess carrots are similar crunchy though. Got a food dehydrator. Dehydrated mushrooms or zucchini are delicious and crunchy. You just blew my mind. What model? I have an Excalibur dehydrator. Warehouse deal on Amazon. I love it. Also, invest in a good mandolin so you can slice quickly and easily and consistently. I have a KitchenAid one. Get sea salt or those popcorn salts to add kick and flavor. Also, good airtight containers are a must if you live in the south because the humidity will rehydrate your food quickly. Always use the hand guard on the mandolin or V-slicer. Always. Like, always though. I eat cherry tomatoes with salt to kill this craving. I don't have any sodium issues. I know it's not great for you, but salt on tomatoes is better than salt on potato chips. What's PB2? Powdered peanut butter. Great for shakes. You can rehydrate it with water or milk to make it spreadable for sandwiches. So much this. I'm a big boredom eater, or a snack while reading type of person, and I read a lot. It took me a long time to come to terms with the fact that I eat because of boredom, and I chose the worst foods to do it with. It's really cool to see that I'm not the only one. I love that your mom was on top of that from the beginning. This so much applies to me. I'm sitting around in my house doing laundry, and all I can think about is how much I want to go grab a chocolate chip muffin from the bakery or order sushi. But if someone offered me an apple, nah, I'm not hungry. While I agree with you on this, my kids love apples. When we have them in the house, they are gone within a couple of days. I have to tell them to stop eating them. I don't mean to sound patronizing, but is buying more apples not an option? I only have one grocery store in my town and they overcharge for produce, so I only buy when they're on sale. My kids will eat a whole bag of apples in a couple of days. I cannot afford to replace them that often, right? It's like they want to eat all the food in the first 2 days. I'm not spending $700 again when it needs to last at least a couple of weeks. Slow your roll. $700? How big is your family? That makes complete sense. I forgot that some places don't have an overabundance of grocery stores. I understand how you feel. I once accidentally bought $30 worth of apples, didn't realize I was carrying like 15 pounds of apples, and I ate them all within like 5 days. I tell my husband this all the time. He always gets hungry like an hour or two after dinner. He's gotten really good about eating the apple instead of junk too. I just wish I followed my own advice. Tell yourself if you're hungry, you can have what you want after you eat a bite or two of an apple. You'll probably want to finish the apple. I find for some reason a cut apple more enjoyable than an apple on its own. That works for me perfectly. Same. I thought I was weird for preferring them sliced. I think it's the fact that the peel doesn't get stuck in my teeth as easily. I like sliced apples because I don't like opening my mouth that big. A guy I work with preaches this. Says he hasn't bitten into an apple in a decade. Whole apple is a big commitment. Can get your hands sticky. A sliced apple is grab and go. You can have a piece every once in a while. After leaving about half her dinner plate full, my daughter says she's still hungry. Asks for ice cream. Me. If you've got room for ice cream, you've got room for the rest of your dinner. Her. But my regular stomach is full. It's my ice cream stomach that is hungry. Gotta give her an A for an effort on that one. Ugh, my mom taught my son that last year. And as someone who grew up fat as lard from shit thoughts like that and have fought every day to only be slightly fat, I'm incredibly pissed off by this notion. And the fact that my son is parroting all the horrible thoughts that made my life fat and hard and miserable growing up. I never learned how to do a cartwheel because I was always too fat. Anyway, happily his activity level is such that he can get away with it for now. Just gotta keep teaching the good stuff and being a good example. Creed didn't do his first cartwheel till he was almost 60. It's never too late to learn. I used to tell my parents that my dessert compartment was empty. Apples give me a stomach ache if I eat them on an empty stomach. I had this too when I was a kid, and now, as an adult, I have IBS. The low FODMAP diet I follow to keep symptoms under control means I now can't eat apples, among many other amazing fruits, including watermelon. Yes, I know fruit is supposed to be healthy, but I can eat enough apples to make myself sick. Came here to say something similar. I can't eat more than a few slices of apple without major stomach issues. Stupid fructose. How do people distinguish between the feeling of not actually being hungry if you don't want the apple, and the feeling of not wanting to waste your calories on something you didn't want to eat in the first place? I ask because I used to try to starve off cravings by eating low-calorie, high-volume food first, but then the munchies would come back within the hour anyway. It's usually much better for me to try to find my craving in as small a portion as possible because once I ate it, my mind was off it and I could move on. Could be that you're actually thirsty, a big one for me. So when I track my water intake too and drink more during the day, I want to snack less. Otherwise, I go for a hot drink, usually tea, as a distraction, as it takes time to make and drink, by which time I've lost the urge, or if not, I'll have a small snack. Something that takes time to prepare is good too, cause you really have to think about it if you want to eat that or not. Vegetable sticks is a good one then, and I add peanut butter, cream cheese, or a slice of cheese.